What is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyla, and you're probably here for books, but we'll do something a little different. Excuse the wet hair, by the way. I just took a lovely shower. Right, this is gonna be our setup for most of the video because we'll be getting a little handsy today. Yeah. We are building this bad boy. So this is an additional bookshelf to the ones behind me because at the rate that I'm going, I will run out of space very soon. I wanted a really nice corner rack that I could put over there. Let me show you the space. I still don't know if it's gonna look good. We're just going with the flow here, but I hope it does. This wasn't cheap. So while we're building this, we'll also be talking about the books that I've read recently. Let me put this down for a bit. So funnily enough, the books that I'm going to discuss with you are all pink. How cute. First, we just have to open the box. Maybe I should give you like a better angle. This might be a better angle for the unboxing of sorts. Let's get straight to opening this thing. You should know that I'm a very clumsy person. So when I do these things, I usually have supervision. My siblings don't really like letting me do these things on my own because I am just not very good at them. You know, I'm not the best Bob the Builder in town, but I try. I really try. So today we'll see if I can redeem myself. If I am Bob the Builder after all. I should have opened the box before I started recording. So these are the contents of the box. Oh. Pretty straightforward stuff. I hope there's a manual. I'm not really good at, you know, spontaneity when it comes to furniture. Okay, there is one. Simple. I think we can do this. I think I can do it. Let's start. Let's look at the tools. There are a lot of thingamabobs. There I can see a lot of screws and those wooden are they called stoppers? I have no idea what these are called. They look very edible. There's also glue. Oh, there is a wrench. There is a wrench. I love it when these DIY furnishings come with the wrenches because I am too lazy to go downstairs to get myself one. Awesome sauce. So before we start, I guess, let's also start with a book that I read. So this is Winter in Sokcho by Elisa, Shua, Dusapin. I'm very bad at pronouncing authors' names, if you've noticed. This book I finished in one day. I think I mentioned this before in one of my older videos that if you make me spend time in the hospital, I could probably finish a book or two. And this was one of them. I finished this in one sitting, probably in like 3 hours. I was just waiting for my doctor's appointment and I breezed through this. It was so good. This was a recommendation by my friend Ibarra. Hello if you're watching, thank you so much. I was supposed to read this with her. It is raining. The lighting is gonna go crappy in a bit, but that's fine, right? I mean, there are worse things that could happen. My friend and I were supposed to read this together, but I am such a slow reader. But I did come back to her with my thoughts on this book because I absolutely loved this book. What can I say? It's very atmospheric, first of all. It's a short novella. If you're a fast reader, you can probably do this in an hour or so. I did it in 3 to 4 hours. It's really short, it's really snappy. The prose is snappy, the prose is straightforward. It doesn't really dilly-dally. The protagonist is a Korean French woman who's kind of, you know, subjected herself to this very boring job that she doesn't really find much joy in. But one day, a Frenchman, an actual Frenchman, visits and she somehow feels mesmerized by this man. She's kind of drawn to him because, you know, first of all, he's a very enigmatic, mysterious character, but he also brings out parts of herself that she felt was lost for a very long time. And she kind of follows him around. It's sort of like a chase. Some parts here are a little surrealistic, like the way the narrative describes the drawings that the Frenchman does. It's very fantastical, magic realist, but I know it's not meant in a way that's, reminiscent of Latin American magic realism, but it's more of like a metaphor. This is a really good read if you just want something quick but also thrilling and something well written. Sweet and sad at the same time. A book about identity and intimacy, a lack thereof, and getting to know yourself. It's exactly what it is. It's a short winter that we spend with these characters in Sokcho, which is not really a known place in Korea, right? It's not a known town. So I came into this very blind, not knowing what I was getting myself into, and I really, really enjoyed this. Now, back to the damn shelf. Alright, so I should maybe segregate the things into their similar parts so that it's easier for me to, piece them together.
Later.
So I've organized the pieces. But the problem is, this section of the manual says it should have more parts than what I have now. But looking at the illustration, it seems like I have complete parts. So let's trust the process. So it says here the first thing that I should be doing is putting these three together to form the base. So this should be probably the back of the shelf because it has two holes instead of just one. I don't know if you can see it, but it should probably look something like this. Let's try it out. Seems like this should be slotted into here. Okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. I mean, it's no harm trying. You can always dismantle it. I want to know, how do you guys balance, reading as well as getting things done in your lives? I know I am the slowest reader in all of Southeast Asia, so that contributes to my dilemma. But I'm just wondering, how do you guys read while at the same time maintaining a social life and working and spending quality time with your loved ones? There has to be something that you kind of give up, right? Or maybe not. Maybe you guys are just better at life than I am. Because I see, I look at Instagram, I see YouTube. It just amazes me how many books people can read in a month. Maybe if I tried harder. I thought about it. Do I really love reading? It kind of makes me sad that sometimes I question whether I like reading or not just because people read more than I do. And then I answered my own question. I do love reading. It's just we have our own speeds, but still, it's a question I want to put out there. Like, how do you guys do it? Give me tips. I feel very fulfilled with this piece. It seems stable enough. This is already kind of a shelf. I can work with this, but of course we're not yet done. The work is only about to start.
A few moments later.
I have now 2 shelves. 2 panels. I feel very proud of myself. I feel like I've done something with my life. Let's do one more panel and I'll feel way better.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
This is amazing. This looks like modern art. I'm a carpenter. Maybe I should put the supporting pillars because I feel like there I could adjust if things aren't really aligned. Because when things are misaligned with furniture, I get really frustrated. I'm pretty confident about the alignment now, so I think I can talk about another book that I read in June. Oops. It's maybe something that everyone has read already. I'm very late to the party when it comes to many books. But it's, I don't really care about being late to the party. I just read things when I feel like reading them. And that book is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Oh, Ottessa, Moshfegh, the girl that you are. I came into this, again, not knowing much about it except that by its title, it's just a whole year of a woman's rest and relaxation. But I didn't know what type of character she was going to be. I didn't know where it was going to be set and when it was going to be set. At first, I didn't like the character. I think with many unlikable characters, like intentionally unlikable characters, that's how it is. You're presented with a character that's just so unlike anyone you've ever known. Someone who's so inherently selfish and apathetic, but also someone you can relate to, because I know she's going through this intense depression, which is why she needs that year of, you know, rest and relaxation, just basically throwing all self-care out the window. She doesn't take care of her health, mentally, physically, and she becomes a character that you initially just dislike. Not to psychoanalyze, but I'm gonna psychoanalyze. I think the reason why we immediately have dislike for these characters is because we don't like seeing parts of ourselves that we don't like in things that we read or we watch. So that's partly why I didn't like her. It reminded me so much of the series Girls, directed, created, and starred by Lena Dunham. She's had her, you know, she's had her stuff in the past, Lena Dunham. I know she's done a lot of problematic things, but I loved that show so much because, again, I had this initial reaction to Hannah Horvath as a main character. But the more I watched her, the more I was just rooting for her. Like, I learned to see her for who she is and why she is that way. Same with the main character of this book. I ended up liking her. I ended up being fascinated by her. I ended up wanting to know more about her past. I wanted to know her thoughts. I wanted to know what she would do next. I was just anticipating and anticipating. And it was an entertaining read. I guess I was entertained more towards the latter half of the novel. And even her best friend in the book, I forget her name. What is the name of her best friend? Reva, right? Reva. Reva is such just an interesting character in her eyes. Like, Reva's a normal lady. I mean, she's a lady who deals with a lot of insecurities and, you know, this need to fit in, which is a normal trait. But the way she's painted by the main protagonist is just so hilarious, but also sad. And I loved their dynamic. Not in a way that's healthy, but like, it was entertaining to watch. I also, of course, loved the therapist, who was probably the reason she would have all these issues, and she just added more to the character's self-destructiveness. It was so crazy, but also just fun. And, you know, if I don't want to spoil much of the book, but of course we have the backdrop of the story. It's set in New York, but we know what happens in that time the novel is set, and it's an interesting thing to add. I think it's a little on the nose. It would have been okay if it wasn't set in that time. I think modern New York or old New York, it would have been the same story. So that setting didn't really add much gravitas to the novel. But I still enjoyed it. I had fun reading it, my initial dislike aside. And it makes me curious about Ottessa Moshfegh's other work. My friend told me that one of her other novels will be up my alley. I think it was Lapvana. Yeah, so I might read that soon. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's such a great cover too. Excellent marketing for this book. Great cover. The pink as well. It's very millennial pink. I think pink is a good choice if you want to attract a certain audience, like the cool girls. This is definitely a cool girl book. I did feel a little bit like a cool girl while reading it. Worth the read. Not something I would say is my favorite, but I enjoyed it. Thoroughly entertained. So let's get back to the shelf. I still wonder why there's wood glue. Would I need this? Oh, probably for the base, because the base, where is it? The base doesn't really have, you know... Oh, it has a screw though. Yeah, so it has a screw. Probably they're just nice enough to add it just in case I need it. Or maybe for these wood things, which look like pretzels. Can you see my nails, by the way? I did my nails right before I built this shelf, and I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. Probably not, but so far they're alive. They're surviving. They're doing great. The nails.
much later.
I'm done with the half of the shelf. Look at this. It is an actual shelf now. I have 3 shelves to work with. Maybe I should just stop here. No, I don't want to be a quitter. And it's very satisfying. It's pretty sturdy. I'll link the shelf in my description box. It's not sponsored, sadly, but if you do want a corner bookshelf, this is not a bad choice. And it's pretty easy to put together considering I am a very clumsy girl. If I can do it, so can you. Okay, so this should be at the bottom because this connects with the ones on top. I'll just do this quickly so that I don't really waste my time recording myself. I'll be back.
Eventually.
You know what was really stupid is that I was talking for the last 5 minutes and the video wasn't on. I completely forgot I put it on pause. So now we are almost done with the second half of this shelf. I don't want to screw the side pillars too tightly, just in case there are alignment problems once I attach them to the top. But I'm guessing this is where I'm supposed to use these pretzels, as I call them. Oh, well, they fit in nicely. This is definitely where they're going. My back is starting to hurt. Oh. This better fit. This is so weird. Let's try it out, friends. Oh. Let me just adjust the angle so you can see if it's a success or not. So this is the shelf that we have so far. And this is the top half, which I hope will fit nicely. Oh, okay. Alright, moment of truth. Oh god. Okay. Just need a little bit of pressure on these wooden things. Whew, this is a workout. My back. Oh, my back. Still needs a little bit of push. Oh god. One more. Alright, I think this is the tightest they can go. But hey, look, it's nearly done. I just need to rest a bit. Let me talk about the last book that I read recently. But this is the last book that I read, which, if you've watched my Hanoi vlogs, you probably know what I feel about this book. Scattered All Over the Earth by Yoko Tawada. Just pull this down. Yeah. I'm just going to reiterate how disappointed I am in this novel. It marketed itself as some sort of dystopia. The concept was so interesting. Japan was no longer a recognizable country because it's long gone, it drowned, and it's only known as the land of sushi. And I thought that was so interesting. I thought they would explore at least that geographical aspect of things, but they didn't. And it was all just talk and just conversations that are so dull that sometimes go around in circles and just lead nowhere. Just makes you feel so unsatisfied as a reader. So yeah, I'm a little sad about it. I wanted to like it more than I did, and it's such a cute cover too. And I was looking at the blurbs of her other books, and there was another one that's kind of similar to this one, wherein Japan also kind of disappeared. So I'm guessing it's also her trying to release, you know, her feelings about her identity as well, because she's a Japanese writer who lives in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I'll read it because this was so disappointing. I'll give it a try. Maybe one of these days. Not in the near future. I have trust issues now. So yeah, I'm sad that I didn't really like this. But, you know, maybe you guys would. Let me know if you do. And if you can convince me to read her other books. So now that my back's a little stretched, let's do the topmost part of the shelf. Where is it? We are so near the end. I'm so excited. I feel like my muscles are popping out, you know? I think I did a pretty good job. But we still have one more part. We still have this part. The bottom leg. I'm not sure how much support this will give, but I'm just gonna put it in anyway. Ugh. It is in. And now we're done. We're actually, oh shoot. We're actually really done. Not bad. It doesn't look bad at all. I'll have to carry this over there. Just give me a few seconds to like catch my breath. I plan to put this on top. I'm gonna see if it works. Because the cord isn't that long. I'm not sure if it can reach all the way to the extension cord. Oh wait, where is the stand of this? Give me a sec. It probably shouldn't be so high. Maybe I should lower it down a bit. Maybe here. There you go. I actually have doubts if this still works because I left it out in the open for a little while they were renovating my room, so there must be dust in there. But let's try it out. This is Namjoon's latest album for those BTS fans out there. Please, 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 don't die on me. Okay, let's give it a spin. It works. So yeah, that is my shelf. I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna put on it, but I'll probably show a clip if I've decided after this video. But thanks for watching me be Bob the Builder for a day and for listening to me nerd out about books. As mentioned, I'm still reading this girl and it will take me a while to finish. I'll see you next time.